Hello viewers, this is Ronald taking you through the tutorial for O-level mathematics. And this video we're going to look at the solutions for the assignment left in the previous video on compound interest. So this video is suitable for students in senior 2, senior 3 and senior 4. So these are the very questions I left. Question 1 came from UNEB 2012 paper 2 question 6. Question 2 came from UNEB 2013 paper 2 question 13a, and question 3 came from UNEB 2015 paper 2 question 15b. Question 4 came from UNEB 2011 paper 2 question 16. So just start with question 1. So question 1 says Ali deposited shillings 56,000 in a bank. The bank gives a compound interest of 15% per annum. Find the amount of money he had in the bank after 2 years. So in this case, 2 years is our N, which is 2, 15 is our R, and 56 is P. So they want the amount, so we shall come and code the formula, substitute and simplify. So the formula is that A is equal to P in brackets 100 plus R over 100, everything raised to power N. Next is to substitute. So P will be 56,000, which is this. R will be 15, which is that. And N will be 2, which is this. So next is to simplify. So this simplifying what is in brackets will be 1.15, so raise the power 2, which is that. Next is simplify everything to come up with shillings 74,060. So basically that's the amount they wanted. Now let's see how much can be awarded. M1 is for quoting the formula correctly, M1 for substitution, M1 for simplifying, and A1 for output. So basically that's how the formulas could come about. Now we shall go to example 2, which came from UNEB 2013 paper 2 question 13a, and says Peter deposited shillings 2.5 million in a bank which offers a compound interest rate of 15% per annum. How much money did he have in the bank at the end of 2 years? So we are also going to code the formula and substitute. So that is the formula. So substituting P is 2.5 million, which is there. Then R is 15, which was given there. And N is 2, which was given here. So that we shall simplify what is in brackets to come up with 1.15 raised to the power 2, and when I simplify further, come up with shillings 3,306,250. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how much can be awarded. So M1 will be for quoting the formula correctly, M1 for substitution, and M1 for simplifying, and A1 for the output. So basically that's how the mass could be awarded. Now we shall go to question 3. Question 3 came from UNEB 2015 paper 2 question 15b, and it says Mr. Odoi and Mr. Kaiso are money lenders. Mr. Odoi lends money at a simple interest rate of 15% per annum. Mrs. Kaiso lends money at a compound interest rate of 15% per annum. So both lend money at the same rate of 15%, but Odoi is simple interest and Mrs. Kaiso is compound interest. A trader wants to borrow shillings 500,000 for 2 years. Which of the two lenders would be cheaper, and by how much? So I'm going to use these values for both formulas of simple interest and compound interest. So this is our P and this is our T for simple interest, and this is our R for simple interest. So let's first do that. So from Mr. Odoi, S will be equal to P times R over 100 times 2. So this is the formula for simple interest. So P is 500,000, R is 15, and T is 2. So when I simplify, I come up with shillings 150,000 as the interest. Therefore, amount will be principal plus interest, which will be equal to 500 plus 150 to come up with 650,000. So that has been Mr. Odoi. What about Mrs. Kaiso? So for Mrs. Kaiso, this will be the P, and this will be the N, and this will be the R. So shall use that in the formula for compound interest amount. So you come and see that amount is equal to that formula. So we are going to substitute. Our P is 500,000, R is 15, and N is 2. So when I simplify, I'll come up with that, and simplify further, I'll come up with shillings 661,250. So when you compare this and this, you realize that this one is less than this. Therefore, we shall come and conclude that the difference in amount will be 661,250 minus 650 to come up with shillings 11,250. What does that mean? It means that Mr. Odoi is cheaper by shillings 11,250. So basically that's what they wanted, and now let's see how much can be awarded. So M1 was for substitution, and B1 was for the output, B1 for this amount, and M1 for the substitution, B1 for amount, M1 for this subtraction, A1 for the difference, and B1 was for you to state who is cheaper. So basically that's how the marks could be awarded. Now we shall go to question 4, which came from UNEP 2011 paper 2 question 16, and says Paul and Mary invested shillings 600,000 each in savings society for 2 years. Paul opted for simple interest while Mary opted for compound interest. Both interest rates were at 12% per annum. Part A, find the interest earned by each of them. Then part B, who earned more interest and by how much? So for part A, we shall say that for Paul, remember Paul was simple interest, so simple interest is given by the formula P times R over 100 times T, where P is shilling 600,000, R is 12, and T is 2. When I simplify, I come up with shillings 140,000. Then for Mary, it was compound interest, so we are going to first calculate the amount, and after that we shall calculate the compound interest. So for the amount, P is 600,000, R is 12, and N is 2. So when I simplify, I'll come up with shillings 752,640. So that is the amount, but remember they want interest, so I'll come and say compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. So when I subtract, I'll come up with shillings 152,640. So when I compare so these are the compound interest earned by each of them. So for Paul the interest was that, and for Mary the interest was that. Then for part B, they wanted the difference in the interest, so the difference will now be shillings 8,640. So therefore I'll come and conclude that Mary earned more interest by shillings 8,640. So basically that's what they wanted in part A and part B. Now let's see how marks can be awarded. So M1 is for you to code the formula correctly, another M1 for substitution, and B1 for the output. Here M1 is for you to code the formula correctly, M1 was for substitution, M1 was for simplifying, and B1 was for the output. Then here M1 was for subtraction and A1 was for the output. Here M1 was for this subtraction and A1 was for this output, and B1 was for you to state who earned more interest. So basically that's how the marks could be awarded. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and be reminded that the next video will be on appreciation and depreciation, still under business mathematics. So if you have not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button below this video so that you can receive updates when the next video on appreciation and depreciation has been uploaded. Also, if you know any student who's not yet on this platform, please share the link of this video with them via social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp so that you can all benefit as a family.